Hello Libra, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self to create the life that you deserve and desire? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation if there is anything, and leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Libra, let's jump on in. We're going to start with pulling overall energy for your past, present, and future energy with oracle cards, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress with the reading. So let's start, Libra, with looking at your overall energy for your recent past. What has Libra been dealing with? Your hard work is paying off. Look at the bigger picture. So putting a lot of effort into something, but not seeing, and then you have meditate and contemplate, but not seeing changes or not seeing results. The bigger picture card is this reminder that sometimes we get really caught up in our temporary circumstances and we say, oh, because things are like this, that must mean that they're going to be this way forever. And sometimes we create a lot more frustration and stress for ourselves when we do have that mindset. Now, with this meditate and contemplate card, I feel like this is, the meditate and contemplate is often to me about coming back to the present. I think a lot of times when things aren't going according to our plan or happening in our time frame, we have this tendency to believe or dip into those worst case scenario beliefs that are like, oh, it's not going to happen, or, I've put in all this effort and I'm never going to get to where I want to go. And I feel like this is almost like a confirmation from spirit that you're on the right path and you're doing the right things. I just feel like it is, it's about the journey. I mean, I feel like it's so frustrating sometimes to hear that, but it really is about the journey, and the journey is the point. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer than we expected, or it takes us to different places than we expected, but it always is worth it in the end. So I don't necessarily know what this is in regard to, what you are kind of pouring yourself into, but just know, literally with that your hard work is paying off card, I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying you're gonna get to where you want to go, or this is gonna be worth it in the end. Current energy for Libra. The bigger picture is just a reminder for a different perspective, looking at things differently than our fear and our anxiety and our stress tries to get us to look at it. So where is Libra at right now? Current energy for Libra. A personal issue reaches resolution. Prosperity lies ahead, and bring love into the situation. I feel like you guys are needing to be a little more gentle with yourself. So I feel like you're chasing some big dream, big goal, just something that you've been putting a lot of work into, but consistently feels very out of reach. And I feel like you're being really hard on yourself, and that's almost keeping you stuck in some sort of loop, because I feel like there's so much abundance available to you, but it feels out of reach for a reason. Almost like there's this, I don't know if it's a limiting belief blocking you. I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is. I feel like we'll get deeper into that when we dive into tarot, but I do feel like there are solutions, or, because resolution, that's about kind of closing a difficult period and finding yourself in a prosperous new beginning, with the prosperity lies ahead card. So I do feel like, again, it's you're on the right path, you're doing the right things, but you're needing to give yourself a little bit of grace for where you're at right now. I think a lot of times we get really caught up and we're like, well, I should be doing more, or I should be trying harder, or I must not be, what I'm giving must not be enough. And I don't feel like that's the case at all. I feel like, in fact, I don't necessarily think the universe wants you to try harder. I think the universe and spirit wants you to trust more, to believe that things are working out, to believe that the energy and the effort that you're putting is enough, that you're enough. Because you are, but I do feel like there's a lot of doubt. And I know what that's like, when you're in the middle of a journey and you're experiencing setbacks or challenges or delays and things just aren't happening, in the way that you had thought or in the timeline that you had hoped, it can really, really start to create a lot of fear that things aren't going to get to where you want them to be. And I think that that's where you need to know that, like, that is just your fear. It's not that it's not a valid experience and emotion, but that it is just your fear, recognizing it for what it is and continuing to move forward regardless of it. But what can Libra expect moving forward? This is definitely for a collective that's been putting in the work, that's been trying to make it happen for themselves. And I really feel, there's the work through your fears. Oh, and then you have a win-win outcome as forecast. So to me, it's the results that you desire, the outcome that you desire is on the other side of the fear that you're experiencing. So this to me is like the only thing that's standing in your way between where you want to be and where you're at now is the fear that it's not going to happen. And the more that you work through that fear that it's not going to happen, as you continue to take steps forward, the closer you get to it. So I don't know, like, to me, this is like, you're going to get what you want. Things are going to play out. The outcome's going to be what you desire. But all of the fear, all of the doubt, all of the insecurity that you're facing and you're experiencing on the path to it, like, and it goes back to what I said at the beginning, like, that's the point. That's what's necessary. I've really learned that working through setbacks and challenges allows us to step into being the person that we need to be in order to believe that we are capable, worthy, and deserving of the things that we desire, so that we don't sabotage them away. The universe will never bring us what is meant for us until we are both the people that can attract it, obviously, but also sustain it, and that becoming that person and stepping into that vibration it happens through the journey. Every single time you face a fear, through a challenge or an obstacle, and you overcome that and you keep moving forward and you choose faith, over fear, and you just keep doing it, like, you are in that moment changing from the inside out. So your beliefs about yourself are changing, your beliefs about what's possible for you are changing, and it might feel like it's taking a really long time, but those little shifts and those little moments lead to the bigger outcome. So I do feel like you're going to get to where you're going. I really do. I feel like the only thing that would make you not get to where you're going, where you want to go, is if you quit, if you gave up. I think that I've really learned that the key to success is to not quit, to not give up, especially in those moments where you feel like you have all the reason to give up, but you keep moving forward despite it. So overall theme of this reading for Libra, what does Libra need to know? These cards always add a little bit of depth to the reading. I feel like they start to create a different, or add to the picture. Overall theme of this reading for Libra, please. Shadow. Shift. Shadow and shift. And then you have guides. I feel like you are being very heavily guided through this. Our shadow is the part of us that believes that we are unworthy and incapable and undeserving, or incapable, not incapable, undeserving and not good enough. It's the triggered, traumatized version of us. We all have one. And that version of you, that part of you, is going to naturally come out whenever you are trying to build something good for yourself. Because it's going to say, you can't do it. You're not enough. There's no way. The universe doesn't have your back. Things never work out for you. Look at your past. Look at the things that haven't worked out in the past. Why would this work out? You're not pretty enough. You're not intelligent enough. That version of you it needs love, it needs acceptance, but it does not need to be listened to. And I think that when you're in this, when you're waiting for a shift and you're waiting for things to change and you're tired and you're over it and all you want is for things to finally get better, to finally experience that breakthrough. That's where most people give up. That right there is where most people say, this isn't worth it. I can't do it anymore. They throw in the towel, they give up. And that is typically right before things happen. It truly is always darkest before dawn. It truly is always the most difficult right before positive change. And I feel like you are kind of on the brink of that right now, which probably means that things are really challenging. So, recognize your shadow for what it is, the fears, the insecurities. It's not to, don't look at yourself and say, stupid you, why are you thinking like that? Because that adding, shame to the situation isn't going to help anything. You literally have bring love into the situation, giving yourself grace, and honestly, like validating and admiring how far you have come, I think is going to be huge for you on this journey, because that's going to allow you to look back and go, okay, I've made way more progress than I'm giving myself credit for. And if I've made it this far, that means like, think of how far I can go from here. The more that you focus on how far you have to go or how many things you need to change, or how close you are from point A to point B, the more that it's going to feel so out of reach. And like I said, I feel like there's something really blocking you from the abundance that is available for you, or holding you back from it. And I feel like it's probably going to be your belief in your ability to create it. But that blockage isn't a no. It's an opportunity. Like, it isn't the universe saying, no, you can't have it. It's the universe saying, you've got to work through these things, these fears and these insecurities, before we can get to the other side, before we can, give you, or before you can receive what it is that you are looking to receive. So you're just in the middle of a journey, and I know how hard it can be. I get people commenting, like, I've been on this journey for years and nothing ever changes, and I get that. I really, really do. But if you are showing up and you continue to show up, positive change is inevitable, as long as you don't stop showing up for it. I seriously, like, all the spiritual leaders talk about it, all of the like business venture people talk about it, like people who have experienced success talk about it. The only way that you can ever actually fail and stay in that place of failure is if you don't keep moving forward. If you don't pick yourself up, be willing to grow, be willing to keep taking steps forward. And I feel like this is just that period where it's like, that might seem really tempting, but one foot in front of the other is the goal here. Okay. That was a lot for the beginning, but let's see what we've got. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this. Let's look, Libra, out what you guys have been dealing with. I feel like things feel, so Four of Pentacles in reverse, things feel really unsettled, uncertain. There's a lot of, it's like the ground, and this is what you've been dealing with, but the ground underneath you feels like not solid. It feels like you're struggling to feel safe in the circumstances that you're in. With this Three of Swords, I feel like this has been a struggle for you, this journey that you've been on. And I feel like it might even feel like each step you take forward, it just feels like the universe throws you backward even more. I certainly know what that feels like. And sometimes it can feel like you're moving backwards more than you're moving forward. But I do feel like you're moving forward more than you think that you are. The Four of Wands with the Three of Cups with the Ten of Pentacles here, I feel like the universe is saying the outcome that you desire is where you belong. It's what's meant for you. If the universe has put a dream in your heart, it has every intention of helping you make it happen. So I feel like you have an idea of where you're wanting to go. There's the Eight of Cups with the Five of Wands. This journey has been all about facing resistance. It's almost like, think about it as, there's this this wall that you're trying to break through. And this wall is, it's your fear, it's your doubt, it's your insecurity, it's all of the things that essentially are keeping you, I said there was like a blockage, right? It's like this wall, but it's made of rubber bands, okay? And that there's a reason for this. And in the beginning, as you push through it, all these rubber bands are really, when you play with a rubber band, it gets stretchier and stretchier and stretchier, but in the beginning, it can be really tight. As you're trying to push through, it's like, oh, there's resistance. Oh, there's resistance. Oh, there's resistance. But as you keep showing up and you keep trying to push through and you keep trying to make it through the other side, it gets bendier and bendier and stretchier and stretchier and stretchier until eventually it snaps and you break through. So I feel like right now, or it's felt very forward and backward because that's what working through resistance is like. It's interesting. We as human beings are actually very, very afraid of the things that we desire. And we actually find a lot of security in the way that things have always been, even if that's not what we consciously desire. And a big part of that is because our ego prefers what is predictable. It prefers what is consistent. It prefers what it can control. And a lot of times those places are not where we want to be. So when we're fighting that rubber band wall, when we're trying to break through our resistance, our fear, doubt, and our insecurity, we also have this voice in our head that's sitting there going, this isn't worth it. Don't keep trying. There's no reason. There's no point. Let's just go back to old habits. Let's go back to old cycles. Let's just stay exactly where we are. It's easier here. It's safer here. So there's so much that's in your head and in your mind and in your energy field as you're trying to break through these barriers that I feel like you've been facing for a while. But just because it feels like you're not making progress doesn't mean you're not making progress. And like I said, it's like with that rubber band wall, as you keep facing resistance, as you keep trying to push through, it's getting stretchier. It's getting stretchier, and eventually it's going to break, it's going to snap, and you're going to find yourself on the other side of it. So, I think a lot of times it's hard because I personally know what it's like to just be at the end of your freaking rope, to just be like, I have put years into this, or I've put all of my time, energy, and effort into this, and it just doesn't seem to matter. Nothing seems to happen. I try to stand up for myself, and all I do is lose people, or I try to show up for, new relationships, and none of them seem to align. Like, I know what it's like to be in that space, but I can tell you that each and every time that you choose to keep showing up, that you show up in faith, that you show up in believing in yourself and believing in what you're deserving of, you are actively in those moments creating it. So I think that you've made a hell of a lot more progress than you think that you have, and I think that you're needing to give yourself a hell of a lot more credit than you are currently. But that brings us to your current energy. What does Libra need to know about where they currently are? And this has not been an easy journey for you, and I don't want it to. I'm not trying to downplay what you have been through, but I do feel like that's why I'm saying you need to give yourself more credit. There's the Empress. There you are, Libra, showing up in your current energy. I love that. We're doubting our worth. We're doubting what we're deserving of. That's okay. That's natural. That's going to happen. That's part of it. If you don't doubt, you're never going to create faith, because faith isn't coming from this place of always believing all of the time, everything's going to work out and feeling good. That's not what it's about. Faith is an action. It's feeling a certain way. It's doubting. It's feeling insecure. It's having the fear, and it's showing up anyway. It's continuing to move forward anyway. It's continuing to believe that good things are possible for you anyway. And that's what's being asked of you right now. So if you're doubting yourself, or if you're doubting your worth, or you're doubting what's possible for you, that's natural. And I'm not saying don't doubt, because not doubting is not realistic. Like, you're going to experience doubt. You're going to experience fear. What I am saying is, now is not the time to stop showing up. Now is not the time to allow that rubber band wall to win, because you are getting closer and closer to breaking through. This Eight of Swords is all about limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs like the things that I just said. I'm not capable. I'm not deserving. I'm not attractive enough. The universe doesn't want me to have these things. I hear that all the time. Maybe I'm not supposed to experience this in this lifetime. Maybe it's just not meant for me. Maybe I'm not good enough for it. Maybe I'm supposed to just live a life without it, and that's my lesson. None of those things are true. That is your fear, and that is your doubt. You are capable and deserving of having the things that you desire. That's like the number one key to manifestation, is showing up believing that you are capable and deserving of the things that you desire. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to create it, because what you believe is going to be how you show up, and how you show up is going to be what you create. So, and I know what it's like to doubt. I know what it's like to doubt yourself. I know what it's like to doubt the universe, but I can tell you from experience that doubt doesn't go away. You never show up or wake up one day and go, oh my gosh, I believe in myself 100%. I don't have any doubt. I'm completely confident. I believe the universe has my back, without any kind of, second guessing. That doesn't happen. You can get closer and closer to that the more that you show up believing that and you watch that become true. But the feeling isn't what matters. It's not about always feeling like everything is working out for you. It's showing up as if that were the case. And I feel like right now, again, that's what's being asked of you, to not give up despite the doubt, despite the insecurity, despite the circumstances that feel impossible right now. I know I don't want to take away from what you're going through. Like I said, I'm not saying this is easy. None of this is easy. That's the whole freaking point, but it is worth it in the end. And I feel like that's what you have with this, a win-win outcome is forecast with work through your fears. It's like getting the results, the outcome that you want is literally on the other side of the fear that you are currently working through. So what does Libra need to know moving forward? What can Libra expect moving forward? It's like you're on the verge of something, of a change, of a breakthrough, of a shift. And the shadow is stronger. The closer we get to the end of a cycle, the closer we get to a breakthrough, the more difficult things are, the more painful it can feel, the more emotional we can get. The most important thing is to not stop showing up. What does Libra need to know moving forward? Whoa, the way that came out. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you have this Tower. This isn't bad though. This doesn't feel bad. Whoa. The World, the Hangman. Okay. So this is like what you're coming from. Okay, hang on. The Tower, the World, the Hangman. That's a lot. And then the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, yeah. It's like you're experiencing one setback, one challenge after another. And I said this already, and I'm sorry if it feels like I'm reiterating it, but I do feel like it is the main message of this, is that every single time that you get to the other side of a setback, an obstacle, a challenge, you are moving things closer in the direction of what you desire. Every single moment of our life, we have a choice. We have a choice to either respond from a place of fear or to respond from a place of faith. And taking a second before our response is where we create our reality. That space between what we're experiencing and how we respond, that is where we create. So when you're experiencing things falling apart or not working out as planned, or you're experiencing obstacles or challenges or setbacks or whatever the case is, you have a choice in those moments. And every single time you choose faith and you choose to show up believing that things are working out for your highest good, you are creating positive change, okay? Every single little tiny moment that we choose faith, that adds up. That's why people think manifestation doesn't happen in the big moments. It happens in the small moments. It happens in the way you show up, the way you speak about your life, the way that you, you focus your energy as much as you can on faith and on the positive. It's not ignoring the negative. It's not saying everything is great and it's fine, and that's not what I'm talking about. But it's your way of saying, I might not be where I want to be, but look at how far I've come. I might not be where I want to be, but look at how much strength I've gained. I can only imagine where that's going to take me from here. I might not be where I want to be, but I know the universe is leading me to my highest good. You started this reading with look at the bigger picture. This is all about perspective. Having perspective on where you're at now will help you show up better for your future self. If you're always looking at your reality from this place of I'm not where I want to be and I'm never going to get to where I want to be, you might actually find yourself stuck not being where you want to be, because if you don't think you can ever get there, you're going to stop trying to break through that rubber band wall. You're going to stop trying to make it happen at all, because you're going to go, it's not possible. And I think that that's where, right now you're really being asked to show up as if it's the opposite. And then you close, and then to me, like with this World, it's like you close out this cycle and then bam, it's like this shift happens, things start to work out in your favor, you have this Wheel of Fortune, but it's going to take continuing to show up despite what your circumstances might feel like right now. And that is the hardest part of, I call it manifestation, but honestly, it's just kind of life in general. And I think that I know you have the strength for it, Libra. I know that you do. It's just, sometimes it can feel like it's not worth it, but I do feel like this will absolutely be worth it for you in the end. So I'm going to hop on over to the extended where we're going to focus on what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So this is what you need to know. Extended is what you need to do or can do. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Libra, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Libra.